Our students in Wisconsin getting a real-life lesson about unions. They actually study the history of labor unions as part of their curriculum. But is there actually a pro-union agenda in that lesson plan?
Amber Hahn is a parent, and she joins us live right now from Madison, Wisconsin. She's got 3 kids in the school system. Amber, what's wrong with teaching about the history of unions in public schools?
Look, what I don't like is that government has overreached its use again and said we need to set as a teaching standard to teach the history of organized labor and collective bargaining. You know, I'm sure they teach the benefits of it, but I doubt that they also talk about the financial impacts and the aggressive intimidation that the unions have been using.
Yeah, the interesting thing, Amber, is that this apparently was passed recently when the governor of Wisconsin was a Democrat. I want to take a look at some of the salient points in it. Number 1, they teach this: unions work closely in the community. Number 2, face greater challenges after President Reagan fired striking air traffic controllers in 1981. That sounds kind of biased. Number 3, developed highly successful political efforts during last 2 decades of 20th century. And it goes on and on from there. So do you think that those talking and teaching points are biased?
You know, I do, and this was passed in 2009. Wisconsin was actually the first state to pass something like this. It took them 12 years to try to get it through. Now, I'm all for teaching in 1959, you know, that the union labor movement, you know, really began in Wisconsin, and teach the facts, the dates. But, you know, in 2009, 50 years later, we decide that we've got to put it into legislation and into the 46 pages of school board operations that we need to teach about the union labor movement. And we don't know what they're teaching in the classrooms. Honestly, I've not been in the classroom and listened to how the teachers are teaching it. But, you know, I have my doubts.
Amber, you just moved back to Wisconsin, and now all this, you also salute your teachers for working through the strike. You have not been disrupted. But do you regret putting your kids back in the public school system with this type of this type of angst?
No, absolutely not. I believe in the public school system. My husband and I are both, you know, came out of the public school system, and I think we're doing okay. I don't regret moving back to Wisconsin. We love this state. We were out of state for 10 years, and I have to commend the Poynette School District, part of me, for staying open through this crisis when all the other school districts around us were closing. So commend the staff and the administrators there for continuing to do their job.
Let's look at a statement from the Wisconsin Department of Public Instruction from the website. Wisconsin has long been a leader in labor rights. Unions such as the AFL-CIO and Teamsters allow us to enjoy an 8-hour work week and vacation time. So that apparently is in response and support of why they teach the history of unions to the kids. Any reaction to that?
You know, I think it's the perfect example of how